Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the end and the death of childhood, the TV show. So, all right, let's continue. All right, you already know how this is, so let's go. 3, 2, 1, click.
Episode
The end.
38, my number is unlucky, apparently.
Yeah, the end of childhood.
Ooh.
Like you haven't made any bad puns before, Siri.
So what will that 13 refer to?
Probably the number that she is on the list when she gets into the college.
Yeah, makes sense.
Let's see.
Still, it's a shame she never got to ride in a wagon with that horse.
I'm guessing they couldn't really update the title sequence.
Yeah, I was about to mention, probably because, again, they were still on...
Wait. What's there to update? Like, I mean, it's Anne probably at her oldest she'll be in the season, riding with a horse.
I think what they mean is that you know how a lot of animes have different
openings reflecting potential changes in the actual status quo of the season.
Yeah.
The end that they're using for the opening is still relatively young, so I get the idea of something with the adult version.
I always got the feeling that was supposed to be older, and honestly, just the proportions were a bit off. Pedro?
No, they're meant to be childhood and actually.
Really?
How many fingers is the examiner holding up?
No pressure. Oh, Latin.
Careful, otherwise you'll end up accidentally saying incantation or...
Shut up, Gables. It's for smart people.
And diet now consists of words and ink.
It's a literal word salad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That is a good point. Like, you should all like coming into the exam with a fresh mind is also it's half of the.
Feels like a bit of a dick move to not even let them do a bit of last-minute remedial study, though.
B-.
98, 94. There you go.
100 in arithmetic, Jesus Christ.
No, that's the thing. There you go. Number 13.
Dun dun dun.
Notice how she had 80. I also love the attention to detail on the grades. 85 on geometry, her lowest grade, because as we've heard from her various times, it's her worst subject.
I mean, 85 is not bad, is it?
Well, yeah, but all the grades are like 95 plus. So.
Wasn't there like... Oh, no, never mind. I can mention these after the final thoughts.
But yeah, basically 13 bad luck. So yeah, this may not look right for you. Josie's, of course, milking the hell out of us.
Again, she's kind of like his new one.
Anne may have matured, but Josie certainly has not.
Like I said, she will be the Green Goblin to Anne Spider-Man at this point.
First we strike the heart. You should transfer here, and it's considered actually a lucky number somehow.
Really?
Yeah, I mentioned this in the past. Somehow it's 17, the unlucky one.
Huh. How random.
Which is interesting because it's basically 13 as the unlucky number. Forgot the rest of the world, I think.
Pretty much, yeah. Again, Italy's the first case I've ever heard of it not being considered unlucky.
Let me see.
I gotta say, Matthew's a lot more talkative.
He's starting to be. It's starting to get to.
We're just pulling all the stops here.
Yeah. It's like Dweeb's age as and the fact and just has a lot more to start to end. Yeah, there you go. And there you go. The end. That's the end. And now we have to say goodbye to Miss Stacy as well.
I wish I had a picture like Miss Stacy.
Everybody's going away. Everything is slipping through us.
I thought it meant that would be the end of the show for a second there, and I'm like, what?
Oh, fuck me!
And thus the entire school flooded with the tears of sadness.
Washing it away in a never-ending flow of sadness. And from that, one Frenchman would soon get the inspiration for the Sadness trilogy.
Please no, Jova. Now it's my turn to say, please don't bring that shit in here.
David Cage game on Anne of Green Gables.
Oh my
Jesus
god, a
Christ.
David Cage game of Anne of Green Gables. Why is that something I can
No.
frighteningly envision?
If that happens,
well,
I will personally go to wherever I need to go and do whatever I need to stop that from happening.
well,
And then I get arrested for it, and then I'll be like, "That's okay. That's
Worth
okay."
it.
Worth it, yeah.
It was all done to save it from a terrible fate.
Was it worth it, Pedro? Completely.
I mean, isn't Canada, aren't Canada and France each other? Not in terms of distance, but
They do speak French in Canada as well. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Again, Canada is like a mixture of French and British.
People saying there was some kind of like economical, relationship between companies for the two countries, and there is some veridicity in that. Ubisoft, for example, has managed to establish, places both in France and Canada as a result. Okay, and I know that the general aura for the time being is super depressive, but you can't give up now.
Don't worry, Taylor. She's not gonna give up. It's just that
She's
very
just super tense, I get it.
Not just that, she's very superstitious.
Oh, that too.
reverse it, it'll be 31.
Yeah. Meanwhile, when I was in school, they were actually dragging us in for last-minute revision classes on the day of our exams.
Well, Deji, this is
Wait.
Deji.
I am
Sorry,
not
Shiro.
Deji.
Somebody's
Oh
confused.
my god, Deji! You
Sure,
became
I
a
mean-
woman all of a sudden. It's a
That's
miracle.
wrong. God,
Anyway, Shiroi, there is a difference between Canada of the 1800s and Wales of the 2000s.
No,
I'm still allowed to be bitter about it.
Of course.
Oh, great. Lovely.
At least it is happened off screen.
God, Anne reminds me of a certain other character who looks like that, but I can't put my finger on it.
Well, that was understandable.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last Anne saw of Matthew.
Jesus.
Wow, this also looks familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh god, that is gonna be the last time he sees her while he's alive, isn't it?
No, episode 47, Jova. We still have a good, 9 episodes before.
We know how anime works sometimes. They just play it off. Bam, dead.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, Dwebs, the truth of the matter, as someone who has no grandparents still alive, I can tell you that that's kind of the sad state of things. Death can take them from you at a moment's notice without you even realizing it.
Well, that got depressing.
I mean,
Well,
the episode
Jova,
brought it up, so yeah.
Well, Jova, that's just the primary topic here. Life and all of its pros and all of its cons. Can't
As
have the
Vince
pros
McMahon-
without the cons.
Yeah. As Vince McMahon would say, life sucks and then you die.
Well, life doesn't necessarily have to suck. I mean, and clearly it doesn't feel like her life sucks.
Which is
Wish I could say
quite
it
a
the way
ways
he's
that she's
facing it,
come
but,
from at the start of the show.
Can't right now.
Yeah. That's one of the big reasons why she's the way he is. She's the fact that she's now been a chance to live this life is she's incredibly grateful for it because she knows how much worse she could have had.
Hey, that looks like the same train that brought Aunt Josephine in. How nice.
Yes, it's yes, and it's
new rail
totally,
line.
it's totally not just reusing of animation because we need to cut corners here and there.
Nah, it's just destiny.
Still with the stairs, bro.
But hey, now
Last-
now we are finally in Charlottetown.
The Wicked Gate?
A wicket gate. What?
Yes,
It's wicked. It's wicked.
Do you have to
Um,
jump into a wall here too?
Either that, or this is actually a cricket place.
the wicked cricket plays.
But wicket's like what happens if you get someone out in cricket. So this is going to be the new environment for. Oh, at least the animators get to draw some.
Fancy.
Optimistic, aren't you? Very sad party. What kind of party would that?
I'm guessing she doesn't want to set her hopes up, so she,
Yeah. Sometimes they set the expectations too high.
Wouldn't it be funny if she does become number 13 on the list of the entry exam?
Well, what if you tied? I haven't finished talking yet.
Hmm?
Remember too, and Josephine never had a
Yeah.
daughter or a son.
Yeah.
Well, they're a happy bunch, aren't they?
Catch me, I must be dreaming.
Oh, Josie, you will forever be the supervillain in the making.
Does she become the main antagonist?
No, she's mostly just the kind of mean kid.
Yeah. Again, Newman.
Although she herself eventually will also grow out of it and become Anne's friend, specifically in the second book.
Why, wouldn't it have been funny if they became business rivals, or, sorry, teacher rivals by the
Java,
Oh, God.
Java, this is not the life and time of Scrooge McDuck.
My students had better grades than yours.
Honestly,
Oh, God.
yes.
Well, everyone has their ritual.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess he's feeling a bit moody.
Ha.
Yeah, I've got a headache.
Nice looking class.
Wake up!
Actually. Well, the teacher isn't even here yet, Whips.
There
Now
we
he
go.
is. Oh, come on, Anne. You got this. So, Dibs, might as well ask you.
Hmm?
Since you actually went to university and everything, I'm guessing you can relate to this to some extent.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so.
How big's that chip on your shoulder, son?
What?
Oh,
Oh, she's doing
What's
the
wrong?
anime thing of biting into the handkerchief.
Yeah, I mean, the teacher isn't going to point at you and laugh.
Besides, in the future, there'll be this wonderful thing called autocorrect.
well, that doesn't really do good for me, since by the time that happens, I'll be dead.
How do you know? Maybe it will be invented within the next decade.
I also noticed that in all of these, Gilbert hasn't said a single word. At least
Well,
not
Gilbert
one that,
wasn't out there with them.
Concentrating.
Not one that the story was considered. Not just
Yes,
in previous episodes. Not one that the story deemed important enough. So I wonder if it's still the story making kind of a statement with that.
No, the primary idea, Joe, there was that during this particular period, they're mostly just separate, doing their own thing. You know,
I noticed, but that doesn't stop like some of the other characters to start, even without interacting with them, still, talking with each other and stuff like that. But Gilbert, as you can see, is just very stoic, not even having a particular change of expressions, not in a sense for the bad or negative, but just you can tell that he's still keeping his composure no matter what's happening. So I get the idea they want the anime at the very least is telling me something about Gilbert with the lack of things they're telling.
Yeah, let's just say too, like Gilbert has one more proof of love to give Anne before this book is over, but and that's the one that will finally convince her. But well, Theo, I think you probably will have at the very least a nice guess what Gilbert. We all know what Anne wants to be. Guess what Gilbert wants to be?
Headmaster.
I think you did told us in one of the previous episodes.
A medical doctor.
Oh, speaking
there's
of,
Gilbert speaking now.
Ask and you shall receive.
oh god.
As for the gift, it's like, hey, Anne, here's a chip from the chalkboard you smashed me in the head with. I kept it all these years.
It's like
It was stuck in my head.
it's like Takahata foretold about Tio's TED talk regarding Gilbert.
Of course.
The Japanese are very good at reading Theo's mind, it seems.
You sound way too happy about this.
Now right off into the sunset.
All right. So now we just relax while we wait for the results.
Ugh, yeah.
You will do soon.
No one wants Anne.
Yeah, Cedar Point may beg to disagree, is what I'm guessing you were getting at, Dwibs.
I was going to say Cornwall.
Also, now I'm starting to see more and more also the parallels with Pollyanna as well.
And Peppy Longstockings.
Peppy Longstocking has something similar, but their attitude is much more spunky. Pollyanna has also an attitude more similar to Anne. I mean, if anything, I think Anne is kind of like the missing link between the two.
So, a crossover between Pollyanna, Anne of Green Gables, and Peppy Longstockings is in order.
So,
Yes, let's have a nice dinner and we can all just relax and enjoy ourselves.
yeah.
At least we'll have each other.
Congratulations, Anne. You broke a record for lowest score in history.
So yeah, we're gonna follow. So in the next episode, we're gonna finally see what the results are. Gee,
And hey,
I want.
The preview
wonder-
actually hasn't. The preview at least was a bit more elegant in not telling us anything,
Yeah, the
more showing actual clips of next episodes.
Yeah. The preview literally used past episode footage. All.
Specifically, the nightmare footage. So, I get the feeling Takata wanted to put us in the same moment of expectation as Anne is going through right now. So that's what I feel like.
Anyway,
All
let
right.
me say quickly, just for addressing the thing from before. Aside from my country, even France apparently has 13 as a lucky number for different reasons, mind you. My country is because it's a good number that was introduced for the football polls games. But in France, it was something tied to World War One. But 17 is considered unlucky because of ancient Latin tradition. It's written with the Roman number XVII, which is changed anagrammatically to VIXI, Vixi, which in the Latin language can be read to I lived, the perfect implying my life is over. CF Vixerunt, Cicero's famous announcement for an execution. So you get to a point where apparently they're in order to change the name of one of its model, R17, in my country to R177. So there is that. Anyway.
Well, while you're at it, Theo, go on. Final
Sure.
thoughts.
Again, teacher, having to detach from the teacher aside, this was a much, more stress relieving episode, despite talking also about the exams. So at least there is that. And like the narrator said, we'll have to wait and see just how Anne has performed. Of course, you can kind of get an idea of what the results might be, but it's interesting to see what the precise result might be. So there is definitely that thought to accompany. Other than that, again, not really anything to complain on my own. Next.
You're right.
Yeah, that was that definitely was a much well, I wouldn't say light-hearted, but lighter-hearted episode. That's it.
Babs.
Really.
Yeah, not much else I can really add. It was solid.
All right, Jova closes out.
Yeah, that was a good fine episode. I liked it. The quality of the show is pretty much so consistent that more or less a lot of it I pretty much just have to say it's good, it's great, it's fine. Granted, there are some that do stick out where I do have more to say, but otherwise it's just like, well, the continuation of a good venture. I do think it's to a point.
I can understand.
I do think it's to a point where I'm just starting to see this mainly as, one blended big episode overall, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that I do have less stuff to say about episodes in particular.
Sure.
Like, it's more so at this point where I have more to say when I think of these in, like, arcs as opposed to their own stuff here and there.
Sure, I can understand that because I was kind of like the same in our Avatar: The Last Airbender commentary, where like everything that the consensus of people is already saying, I agree with. So aside from what you were saying, I had very little to say without repeating what you were saying.
Pretty much. It's kind of like that.
So I can definitely see what you mean. For me, it's just well, Joe, but this was a book that was meant to be read like that. So yeah, despite there being changes, yeah, it definitely feels like you were just watching an ongoing story over the course of 50 episodes, because that's exactly what it is.
Like, to my knowledge, I think there's only one episode that's really bugged me. That was episode 31. Other than that, I don't think there's been an episode that sat wrong with me.
Sure, and I can understand that as well, because I guess it really is one of those cases where maybe it's 32. I think that you mentioned, like maybe Lucy's idea of I'm guessing you're talking about the fact that Anne hasn't forgotten Gilbert yet.
I'm talking about specifically the episode where Gilbert saves Anne, and that.
That's the one. I get the feeling maybe it was accepted better back when the book first came out, but yeah, storytelling standards have changed since the 19th century.
I suppose part of it just funnels into my regret that, as far as these creators go, it's only book one they did, and we won't get to see more of stuff go beyond that and other stuff.
That's the thing, Jova. In true creators fashion, they really wanted to strike on their own and make their own original material, rather than just rely on source material to adapt.
So you think that if they had managed to make it to the end and go beyond that, they would have done more original stuff rather than adapt the future books?
Oh, trust me, I would. Trust me, I would love to live in a time now where Takahata and his team adapted all 8 books. But that's a pipe dream. No, especially because the World Masterpiece Theater eventually. Well, to be fair, we had a Tom Sawyer one right after this, so there is that. All right, so that was episode 38, right? Okay, 38. See you for the next one, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya.